And we are live. Hello, everyone. This hour on Verbally, the next in my Business Basics series. This is a series of classes where we talk about basic business issues and you learn the basic expressions and vocabulary you need for different areas of business. But also, it's good to talk about important issues that'll come up. So I've been doing that for the last 2 weeks, and I think it's great. I'd like to do that today as well. The issue of whistleblowing. We'll talk about what whistleblowing is. I can give you a little introduction first. You've probably heard of Edward Snowden, so you know what a whistleblower is. But you probably haven't heard of Karen Silkwood, unless you saw the movie in the 1980s about Karen Silkwood called Silkwood with Meryl Streep. You haven't heard of Karen Silkwood, a union activist who exposed scandalous practices at work and suffered for it. You'll learn all kinds of vocabulary for workplace ethics, and we'll decide if whistleblowers should be fired or should be protected. This will give you, I hope, a new perspective on the relationship between the worker and the boss, or the employee and the employer. So all of that and more coming up in just a moment. But first, a little introduction. Let me get my name on the board. Give me just a second and we'll get started. There we go. Let me get my name on the board. Got my app open. And okay. So my name is John Eric. Let me get this. Taking a second. There we go. My name's John Eric, and I'm your Verbally teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, hanging out in Lisbon, Portugal, to bring you this class. By the way, if you click on that link in the chat window, it'll take you to my profile page where you can follow me to see all my upcoming group classes. I highly suggest you do that. You'll know what's going on. Also, you can schedule a private tutoring class with me where I will work with you on a personalized learning plan to get you to your goals as soon as possible. Think about that. Do me a favor, though. Send me a message first so I can find time for you in my schedule and make sure that you get what you need. Okay? So, that's a bit about me. We talked a little bit about the class. Let's say hello to everyone, and then we will get started. Hello, everyone.
Hi. Hello.
Let's see who we have here. Welcome back, Rebecca. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you again.
Welcome back, Dr. Raphael. Nice to see you. You've graduated to the level of doctor in my class. Maybe you were already a doctor. I don't know. Hello, Raphael. How are you? Are you out there, Raphael? Uh-oh, I don't hear you. Maybe you're having a connection problem. I don't hear you, Raphael. Maybe rejoin the Hangout. Maybe that will fix it. Welcome back, Lena. Nice to see you, Lena. Miss Klosova.
Nice to see you again.
Hello, Lena. Nice to see you, Mr. Awesome.
Nice to see you.
Mr. Awesome. Jose. Giancarlo, it's 5 in the morning. You should be asleep.
Yes, John. Good morning.
Do you know, Giancarlo, I sent Verbling a message yesterday, again, telling them to change my schedule because Giancarlo wants me to start later. I sent them a message, and they have not responded, but I have sent it. So,
Wow.
What can I do? I'm doing my best. Maybe they were surfing or something during the weekend. I don't know what they do in California. Maybe they're out. But I did tell them. Let's see who we've got down there. We've got Albina and we've got Albina. We've got 2 Albinas. Is that right? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think it's right.
That's never happened before.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Today.
How are we
How
going to do
should we
this?
define? Yes.
I don't know. Let's see. One Albina is from Kyrgyzstan. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
So you're Albina from Kyrgyzstan.
Yes. Yeah. It's very long for you to ask us.
It has to be. And our other Albina, where are you from, other Albina?
Yeah, I live in France.
You live in France. It's a little easier. We've got French Albina and
So you can call me Ali if you want. I think it will be easier. A lot of people call me Ali.
Ali. Bonjour, Ali.
Bonjour. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Okay, and let's see if Raphael got his microphone working. Hello, Raphael. Is it working now?
Can you hear me right now? Oh.
Not so good. It's a little bit loud. Yeah, I don't know what's going on because I'm hearing lots and lots of noise. But let's live with it. Let's try. Just keep it off, and when you're ready to speak, I don't know. We'll try it. Maybe if you just turn the volume down. I don't know. I'm not sure. Sounds a little strange. Let's get started. We'll live with it for today. Don't worry. Just keep it off when you're not speaking. Take a look at this. Whistleblowers. So, let's see. Giancarlo, looking at that picture, does that give you an idea about what a whistleblower is? What do you think about that picture?
Wow, it's interesting, but sometimes it happens in companies, sometimes it happens in your private life. It is when maybe somebody how do you call that? Is when somebody, it's a double face, maybe.
Double-faced. Interesting. So, does that mean whistleblowing is a bad thing?
It's a bad thing. It's when somebody stabs you on the back or something.
Oh,
like
I see what you mean. Oh, okay. Well, hang on a second.
Yes.
Some people think it's a good thing. Some people think it's a bad thing. So maybe in this graphic, it's true that the guy's got his back turned, and it's true they're stabbing him in his back. But maybe this graphic is more about what the company wants to do to him because he's whistleblowing. In other words, the company thinks he's being two-faced, but maybe the public would think differently. Do you see what I mean? So actually, I see what you're saying, but maybe it depends on your perspective. By the way, I mentioned Edward Snowden. So why is Edward Snowden a whistleblower class? Who's familiar with Edward Snowden? Anyone?
Because he got some information and he told it, or
yeah, he passed information which is, they said it was secret, but actually apparently it wasn't really secret, or at least it wasn't top secret. He just passed the normal communication that people have, these diplomatic cables. He passed them on to the public. He passed them on to the public. Yeah, through WikiLeaks. I think it was through WikiLeaks and other places. So he basically published them.
And do you think he got? Did he get some money for that?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. I don't think he got paid for it. No. If any, because remember, he was rich. The guy was really successful. He had a house in Hawaii. He was a top intelligence contractor, so he made lots of money. And he didn't really need to be richer than he was. So the answer is, I don't know, but I don't think so. I don't think he received any money. I think he lost everything.
Yeah, that's a stupid way to lose, the account of your life.
I don't know. Maybe he lost, but the people won. It depends on your perspective. Let me just say a quick hello to Joseph, who's joining us now. Hello, Joseph. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Is this your first time with us?
It's not first time, maybe third time with you exactly.
Okay, because I don't recognize the picture. That's why I remember you by your pictures.
Anyway, I'm very happy joining you in this class, and we hope we get to good class and great students.
I think it will be. So, Remind me where you're from, Yosef.
I'm from Saudi Arabia.
From Saudi Arabia. Okay, great. And what was that, Albina? What were you saying?
Yeah, I said that once I have watched the interview with him, and
Right.
he was talking about the freedom.
Uh-huh. So
He told that freedom for him is when you know something important, you can share.
right, right. Well, and it's not just that. It's also it has to do with the Constitution in the United States. It's supposed to be a free society where there are no secrets. It's supposed to be that way. And what he claims is that he realized that it was the complete opposite, but to an extent that he never imagined until he was working there in the intelligence agency. So he's claiming that it goes against the Constitution, which is the fundamental law of the United States, so that he hasn't done anything illegal. Now this is the interesting question, because with Obama, apparently whistleblowers have no protection, and this is like or very little protection. This is like a first in American history. Apparently, even under Bush, people had more protection than Obama when it came to whistleblowing. So this is part of the controversy. But anyway, I'm going to focus on corporate whistleblowing because this is a business class. But I wanted to mention Edward Snowden because when you think of whistleblowers, that's the name that tends to come to mind. He blew the whistle on the secret spying that the NSA was doing. Before Edward Snowden, nobody knew about the NSA. Practically no one even knew what it was. And you almost fell in love. Well, he's in Russia, so I don't know. Maybe you can find him. I don't know. I think he's got a girlfriend, though. But
Good idea.
But yes, I mentioned that because he's the image of a whistleblower, I think, that everyone thinks of. So that's just to define the word. By the way, just a quick hello to Javier. I forgot to say hello when you came in. Hello, Javier. How are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you. You?
Very good. Very good. So we talked about what a whistleblower is. The second question is, where do you think the word comes from? It's a kind of a strange word, isn't it? So where do you think the term whistleblower comes from? Like, what does it mean originally?
Maybe from England.
Okay. And so tell me what you think the origin of the word could be. What do you think? What's the situation that led to the term whistleblower? Any ideas?
Whistle is a kind of, if I may, a kind of device what the referees use in a match, football match, and blower is to blow to, and when you are telling something that nobody knows, nobody wants to tell, you are blowing at the air and whistling, like, I think it's a combination of the two words.
It is, yeah.
Make the dance.
And Raphael, besides a referee, who else in the UK blows a whistle?
Also the police, I think.
Also the police, exactly. Also the police. So a whistleblower, when you blow a whistle, everybody knows that there's a problem. It calls attention. Like the police would blow a whistle. Not in the States, we don't use whistles, but in the UK, they used to use whistles. So when you hear that whistle, you know there's a crime happening. It draws your attention. And that's where it comes from. In fact, I'll tell you a little story. A whistleblower is someone who reports a dishonest or illegal activity within an organization to someone else in authority. And you're absolutely right. What you said, Raphael, a whistle is a small metal or plastic device you put in your mouth. You blow it to make a high-pitched sound. It draws attention to something. A whistleblower here will be the person who figuratively makes a loud noise, blowing a metaphorical whistle. Someone who makes others aware that something is not right. So if I were to give a complete definition, I would say all of that. So I'll put a little definition there in the chat window for you. There you go. What we're going to get to is whether or not whistleblowing is good, is bad, should be allowed, should be punished. Corporate whistleblowing is supposed to be allowed. But in reality, you know, go try to say something bad about your boss and see what happens to you. So it's a dilemma. That's what we're going to be talking about, and we're going to read the beginning of an article, just the beginning, to give you an introduction. Well, actually, the article's short. Maybe we can read the whole thing. We'll get to that in just a second. But I'll give you a good example of whistleblowing in the corporate world. All right. I want you to say these words. These are words that are going to come up in the article in just a moment. I want you to say them, see if you can match them to a definition. And the next part is you're going to try to find the words in the article as you read it. So 2 sets of keywords. Okay? Everyone, pick a word and say it. Albina from Kyrgyzstan. The first word is?
Contaminated.
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 That's right, contaminated. By the way, can you find the definition there on the screen? Or can you give me your own definition?
So, number 6, made dirty, polluted, or poisonous by addiction of a chemical waste or infection.
Exactly. Would you want to drink contaminated water, Albina?
No, no way.
No way, exactly. So contaminated, it's got impurities or maybe even worse. Exactly. Okay. Aller from France. The next word in blue?
It's shut down.
Shut down. Can you find the definition?
I can try. Is it a verb here or is it a noun?
It is a verb.
Okay.
Okay. You think about it for a minute. We'll come back to you.
Okay.
Okay. Javier, the next word in blue in the second column. Say that for me.
Fuel.
Very good. Fuel. Fuel.
Fuel.
Good. Can you find the definition?
So,
If you need a minute, we'll come back.
I think it's number 3, no? No, it's number 1. Substance that produces heat or power when it's burned.
That's right. It's number 1. Okay.
And I found mine also. So it's number shut down. It's number 5. To close something, usually permanently, or to stop it from operating.
Very good. So these words are going to be important when you read about Silkwood and what she did. Giancarlo, can you read the 4th word for us? Can you see it, Giancarlo?
Yes, number 4 is it's spill.
Spill. And what does it match with?
To spill is when you pour a liquid from one container to another one.
Right.
Or maybe when you expel some liquid from your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's anytime liquid escapes. So remember the Clearwater Horizon oil spill in 2010? Remember that in the Gulf of Mexico?
Uh-huh.
That's another kind of a spill. Remember the what was it called? Clearwater Horizon or Clear Horizon? Remember the British Petroleum had an accident in the Gulf of Mexico in, I think it was 2010. Remember that?
Yeah, sure. And yes, okay, this is another kind of a spill.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying one that would have affected you, being in Mexico. Although you're on the other side, but still, it would have affected the whole coast of Mexico. It affected all the way up into Florida and Louisiana, if I'm not mistaken. So it affected everything. So that was an oil spill, that one. All right, Mr. Jose, can you read the 5th and match it for us? Find the 5th one?
Okay. Lab technician. I think the answer is number 2. Someone with technical training whose job involves using special equipment and in a laboratory. Equipment in a laboratory.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Lena, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th word in blue.
Union.
Union.
I think it is an organization that represents the workers in a particular industry and tries to improve pay, conditions, etc.
I think you're right. Another word for union is syndicate. But usually we use the word union. Syndicate, union. Okay. And Raphael, can you say again? Sorry?
No?
What? Say again?
Same word. Company.
Company? No, no.
Company.
Union is the workers, especially when they are in a group, a recognized group, a legal entity. But the company is separate from the union, very separate. The union is there to protect the workers from the company.
I know this word.
Okay. But I wouldn't use the word company interchangeably with union at all, because it would be confusing if that's what you mean. So union or syndicate. And Raphael, the 7th word in blue.
Trade union.
Trade union, yep. So Raphael, the 7th word.
Violations or radiation.
Radiation.
Number 3, a form of energy produced during a nuclear reaction that is used for making electrical power.
Yeah.
It can also kill or harm humans who receive too much of it. Radiation.
Right. Radiation. The same reason you wear suntan lotion when you go outside, because of the UV, ultraviolet radiation from the sun. So radiation from a reactor, radiation from the sun, right? Different forms of energy, to radiate energy. And let's see. Let's go with Mr. Yosef, the very last word in the box above. Can you say that for me?
Variations?
Almost. Violations.
Violations.
Good.
Okay,
but,
I think it's...
sorry, but just wait one more time. Listen to the word stress. Violations. Violations. The word stress, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Good. And it matches with?
I think number 8, actions.
That's right.
That are in opposition to a law, agreement, principle, etc.
That's it. Very good. Very good. Now, these words I'm giving you, the next set you're going to discover as you read. Okay? So I'll probably have you come back and do that as a homework, but if you want, you can sort of familiarize yourself with the words now. So, to not work correctly, number 10, the state of being put into a situation in which something harmful or dangerous might affect you. So think about these definitions as you read. Number 11, information or evidence that shows something is definitely true or exists. Number 12, a crime or legal activity for which there is a punishment. Number 13, someone whose job is to decide officially how a person died. Number 14, drugs that make you calm. 15, ideas or discussion about why something has happened or might happen. And 16, money that a court decides you have to pay. So think about these definitions as you read. And I think we can actually read the whole article and discuss it. But what we're going to get to is, in this class and the next class, is what should we do about whistleblowers? Should we be whistleblowers on the job? If we decide to be whistleblowers, should we be protected, and how can we be protected? Do we think it's wrong to go against the company? What do we think about Silkwood's behavior? All these questions and more. So we're going to talk about the ethics of going against your boss, is what it really comes down to. So let's read and find out. Let's see. Let's go back to, well, let's see. Rebecca, why don't you start us off, because I skipped you. So you take the very beginning in the first paragraph for us, please.
The first paragraph. Okay.
Starting with
Whistleblower.
her role.
Okay, her role in exposing the scandalous business practice in the anatomic industry cost Karen Silkwood her life. Vicky Sussex reports on a courageous union activist from Crescent, Oklahoma.
Okay, by the way, one more time. Courageous.
Courageous.
That's it. Good. Okay, keep going. First paragraph. Keep going.
Okay, keep going. Okay, one paragraph more. Karen Silkwood, 1946-74, is regarded as a whistleblower who paid the ultimate price. In 1972, she started work at the Kerr McGee Cimarron factory in Crescent, near Oklahoma City, which produced nuclear fuel. Fuel. Thank you. As a lab technician, she polished fuel rods filled with plutonium and checked them for quality. At the time, staff knew radiation was unhealthy, but weren't informed it could cause cancer.
There you go. So that's her situation. By the way, look at the word in the chat window. Rebecca?
Yeah. Yes.
Can you read that word back to me?
No, sorry, I can't read. Right. What?
Sorry? Wait.
I can't read it now. Yes, pronunciation ultimate. Ultimate.
Ultimate. Good. Ultimate. That's it.
Ultimate.
Okay. Very good. Okay. So this is quite a. By the way, what is plutonium? Does anyone know what plutonium is?
It's a very poison method.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, go for it. Do you know what it is?
It is a special fuel for atomic station.
It's what they put in a nuclear reactor. Plutonium.
For nuclear, yes, for nuclear.
It's dangerous and is poisoned.
Yeah, it's very easy to die from plutonium poisoning, from radiation poisoning, because it's extremely radioactive. So it's a radioactive metal that's shooting out radiation, and well, anyway, it doesn't matter how it causes cancer, but it causes cancer. And when people were learning to create atomic energy, all the scientists who were working on the project, like the atom bomb project, as far as I know, they all died from cancer because they didn't understand how radioactive it was just to be near the material or to be at a safe distance from the bomb blasts. There was no safe distance. So, yeah, anyway, plutonium.
Before that, people didn't know that.
No, and in fact, Madame Curie, the one who found out what radiation was, she was carrying plutonium around. She was carrying around radioactive stuff with her, and whatever. She was doing all these like tricks. Hey, look, I can glow in the dark. She was doing all these things. They didn't understand that it could kill you. So, and here in the 60s, they didn't understand how dangerous it really was, or they knew and they didn't tell people. It's really hard to say. But anyway, she worked for the nuclear reactor. She polished the rods of plutonium that would go inside the nuclear reactor. All right. So let's see. Javier, want to take the next one for us?
Yeah, sure. Let's go. In 1974, Kerr McGee fell behind on a major contract and pushed its staff to work longer hours. Mistakes increased and so did radiation spills. The factory didn't shut down after accidents. In July, Silkwood was contaminated for the first time. Worried that the firm was putting profits before safety, she became more active in the union and was elected to the bargaining committee. She started collecting cases of safety violations. These
Violations.
violations. This included exposure to contamination, faulty respiratory equipment, and rods being improperly stored.
She also discovered
that data was being manipulated to allow faulty fuel rods to pass quality control.
All right, so let's take a look at that paragraph for just a second here. So, when she was contaminated, what did she do to change her position? She was worried she was being lied to. So what did she do exactly, Javier? Is that clear what she did?
She became finally she was elected to the bargaining committee within the union, no? And
right. So what did she have to do then? What does that mean, bargaining committee? What kinds of things do you think she had to do? Bargaining with whom?
Bargaining.
What do you think?
But yeah, committee. But I'm not sure about bargaining, because a bargain it's something cheap, no? Bargaining.
It is. It is. It's something cheap. It's something cheap because you have argued with the person selling things. If you argue, you try to bring down the price. So that's one kind of bargain. Lena, what do you think? What kind of responsibilities do you think she might have had in the bargaining committee? What would you say, Lena? Any ideas?
Yes, she was elected as the head of the bargaining committee. So
what? Who was she bargaining with? What do you think?
It's a special union.
It's a special position in the union. That's for sure. It's a special position in the union. Does anyone know, or does anyone want to make a guess? With
but I
who?
don't understand why bargaining committee is used in this text. I don't understand.
We're going to find out. We're going to find out soon.
It's the person who negotiates between employees and employer.
Exactly, the person who negotiates. And so it's the negotiation between the union, the workers, and the company, or the boss or administration. And Raphael, what kind of demands do you think the bargaining committee would make on the company?
As the article said about what is happening with the safety of the pollution there, with the contamination of the fuel residues. And also I think they were bargaining about wage also and conditions of the employee, things like that.
I think so too. Maybe for one thing, the accident seemed to happen because they were rushed, and so that means they had to work longer hours or work faster. So maybe the bargaining had to do with better conditions for the workers so that they didn't make these mistakes, right? That could be another reason. Okay, I just wanted to spend a little time on that to make sure it was clear. Let's go to...
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, go for it.
I want to emphasize the age of this lady. She was very young, just 28, and she was elected as the head of committee. Interesting, because she wasn't only one who was contaminated, but she was courageous enough to lead this company.
Yeah, she was elected when she was even younger, wasn't she? Was she 28 when she was elected, or was she 28 when she died? Because I don't know how old she was, actually.
But we can look at the previous page, and we can see the year.
Yeah, the previous page is to 74.
Yes,
so give me a second here. I'm just curious. So she died in 74. And I was just curious if it says, I'm just looking at Wikipedia if it says when she was elected. I'm just curious about that. Give me a second here. 1 second. One moment. But she was born in what, 46, was it? She was born in 46. So she was probably, yeah, she was probably significantly younger, maybe 26 when she was elected. So that's pretty young to have a big position like that. Yeah, absolutely. So she was quite courageous. Okay, and let's see. Ali, would you like to take the next paragraph? Let me put it on the screen for you.
Yes.
Go for it.
In September, Silkwood reported the cases to the union's national office in Washington, D.C. They told her that exposure to plutonium could cause cancer and that the faulty roads could cause a nuclear disaster. They wanted more proof, and Silkwood offered to get it. The union told New York Times journalist David Burnham they had I'm sorry, I was reading from the presentation. I actually lost the page.
You're on slide 6?
Yeah, journalist David Burnham, they had a story for him.
What do you think the story was?
I think that she wanted to tell him about things which were happening in the factory, about all those relations.
And what's another word for that? To tell the newspaper all the things that were happening. What's another word for that we used earlier? She wanted to blow.
Okay, to blow.
To blow the whistle.
The whistle. To
blow the whistle. She wanted to blow the whistle on the company by going to the biggest newspaper in the United States, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, in the world. So if you're going to blow the whistle, go to the biggest newspaper. And the company was, how do you think they felt about that?
Well, I think, well, they knew that they were wrong, so they were more than worried.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
And as we'll see, they took some action of their own, actually. Giancarlo, want to continue? The next one?
Yes. To provide proof, Silkwood stole documents, which was a major federal offense. Or offense.
Not offense, but offense.
Offense.
Good.
Then she discovered that 18 kilograms of plutonium were missing, enough to make 3 nuclear bombs. On 5th November, she found she was contaminated and underwent decontamination. The next day, she again tasted positive, although she hadn't worked. She again tested positive, although she hadn't worked in a lab. Other tests found her home was contaminated, and that she had both inhaled and ingested plutonium. Kerr McGee officials accused her of contaminating herself to embarrass the firm.
Actually, stop there. Yeah, stop there for a second. So that's a really major part of the story. I don't know how clear it is. Do you understand what the implication is here, Giancarlo? What's the implication from these tests that proved that she was contaminated? What's the implication? The company says that she did it to herself, which is crazy. And where do you think she thought she got the contamination? Is that clear or not clear?
No, it's not so clear.
All right, let's get a few ideas. Class, where do you think Silkwood thought the contamination came from, in your opinion, class? Any ideas? It's implied in the text. It's not really stated, but it's implied. Well,
John,
Yes.
Maybe her home was contaminated. Her home because maybe,
exactly. Her home was contaminated. That's what she thinks. Yeah. Go ahead.
Because some a few of plutonium maybe was in her home, maybe.
Exactly. And what clues led you to that idea? Because I think you're right. What clues gave you that idea? Like in the text, how do you figure it was in her home? Is there something in the text that makes you think that? Because I have the same idea, and in the text, it's implied, but it's not really stated.
Because she worked in a lab and she was contaminated. And because she inhaled that.
Well,
but also, if I may, an article says that implied that she was stolen. She has stolen the plutonium, 18 kilograms, because her house was contaminated too, and the plutonium disappears. For this reason, it's implied that he could stole the plutonium too, I think.
Yeah, it does. It implies that something happened, and the company is trying to say that she stole it herself. Let me ask you something. How many of you would contaminate yourself with plutonium and basically commit suicide? Raise your hand if you would do that. If you were angry at your company, would you kill yourself? Anyone? Anyone? No one's raising their hand? Exactly. Because it's crazy. It's the craziest thing I ever heard. So the implication in the text is that they framed her. They made it look like she had stolen the plutonium. The company killed her. That's the implication. The company went to her house, broke in, and killed her by placing radioactive material, killing her and anybody else that was in the house, basically.
Her neighbors, maybe.
Say again?
Her neighbors.
Yeah, well, someone had to do it, but it would have affected anybody in the house. I mean, imagine if she hadn't gotten tested.
And what happened with the person, who left the plutonium there?
The person who left the plutonium there would probably have been wearing lead protection, because lead is usually strong enough to stop the radiation. So that would mean that you have like a lead box or something like that. But the truth is, you're absolutely right. The person who planted it there is probably going to get infected too. I mean, there's no way to avoid it.
And a short life ahead of him.
Well, he might be less infected than she would be, because like maybe but yeah, it's the craziest story, and in the film, I think Meryl Streep won her first Oscar for this or something like that. In the film, the company's following her around. There's all kinds of suspicious things happening, and it's all based on the real story, of course. Let's finish up. I think this is the last. Yeah, this is the end. Let's go to the end. Let's see, Jose, you have not had a chance to read. Can you take half of this text, if you don't mind, and I'm going to give one more person a chance to. Can you take the first half of the text, Jose?
Yes.
Go for it.
Silkwood was frightened and told her family she planned to leave the company. Her National Union contact, Steve Wofka, decided it was time to blow the whistle. On 13th November, on her way to take documents to Wofka and the journalist Bamham, she was killed when her car went off the road. Although witnesses claim she had left with documents, none were found in her car. The coroner discovered zip ties in her blood.
Like this. Sedatives in her blood. Sedatives.
Okay. Discovered sedatives in her blood, and the official version was that she had fallen asleep at the wheel.
Okay,
Speculation.
good.
Yes.
Let me get one more reader in here.
Okay.
So, Joseph, I think we didn't give you a chance to read yet, did we? Want to take the second half for us?
Yes, okay.
Go for
it. Yes.
Speculation that she...
speculation that she had been forced off the road was never confirmed. Sorry, I'm reading from. I'm using my mobile. That's why I didn't see the font exactly. Yes, and autopsy.
Good.
Autopsy ordered the Atomic Energy Commission found she could not have contaminated herself because the plutonium in her body come from restricted area of the plant. This mystery was never solved. In 1986, after a long legal battle, Kerry McGee paid damage to the Silkwood family for having communicated Karen's Silkwood story. Silkwood's story become a powerful.
It's like this. It's like this.
Force.
For having contaminated Karen. Period. Next sentence. Silkwood's story.
Yeah. Silkwood stories become a powerful force for the anti-nuclear movement of the 1970s and 1980s. The hugely successful film Silkwood with Meryl
Streep
playing Meryl Streep playing Karen Silkwood come out in 1983.
Wow. And there you go. By the way, just one word, Joseph, to repeat. The word is mystery. Mystery.
Mystery.
Good. Not my, but me. Mystery. So, this is an example of whistleblowing. Geez, what do you think? What's your reaction now that you know her story? So what do you think about this now? Had you ever heard of this story before? It's kind of a famous case.
I think she likes hero in this story.
Yep.
Because yes, because it's very dangerous to be argue with big companies, because a lot of money and a lot of power. This company has a lot of money, a lot of connections with government, I think, and it's very big danger to have to be against such company.
Yeah, you can say, Lena, you could say there's a lot at stake. A lot at stake. At stake means that they have invested time and money, a lot of money. There's a lot at stake. So the company has a lot at stake. That I could also look at it this way. They have a lot to lose. If you have a lot at stake, you could lose everything, right? So they had a lot at stake, and her act of blowing the whistle on them would mean they could lose millions, and since it's nuclear energy, billions of dollars. And it seems pretty clear who was responsible for her death, doesn't it? In the movie and in the article, it seems pretty clear. It's unbelievable, really unbelievable. So, what do you think about corporate whistleblowers? Do any of you work at a company that has a whistleblower policy? When I used to teach at Barclays Bank, I used to teach some executives, and they had a program called the Whistleblower Program, where they could anonymously denounce other people in the company, all the way up to the CEO. That's what they said, and it was all anonymous. And if someone was arrested, they could get an award of up to, I think it was $100,000, if it led to an arrest and it changed the business practice. Now, that's what they told me. My feeling is, if they had tried to do it for real, they would not have gotten an award. I think I think it depends on who you're going to blow the whistle on. But they had a program. Do any of you have a whistleblower program at your company, or do you know a company that has one? Just curious.
I know that all workers who work who have such jobs up in such plants or another maybe companies, they have to write the special list. They should promise they couldn't be whistle. They couldn't whistle the information.
They couldn't blow the whistle.
Yes.
As a verb, to blow the whistle. As a verb, to blow the whistle. So, what do you think would? Ali, where are you working these days? Are you working or are you studying? Ali?
Yeah, 1 second. I had to unmute myself.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Are you working or are you studying these days?
I do both, actually.
Ah. What do you think would happen if you tried to blow the whistle at your job? Would you have trouble?
Yeah, I think I would, yes. Actually, in France, the job market, it's quite, it's complicated.
Okay.
The unemployment rate is very, very high. So it
In
also depends
France?
on, yeah, in France, yes, it's really high. And yeah, it's never has been so high, never before, like it is now. It also depends which kind of contract you have, if it's a permanent contract or a temporary contract.
Right.
So,
well,
and
a temporary contract isn't really a contract, is it?
Yeah, it is. It gives you maybe a job for a year, for 2, maybe for 3 years.
Okay.
It depends.
Okay. Okay, I understand. Yes, I thought you were talking about freelancing. No, I understand.
Oh, no, it's not freelancing. So if people have a good job, they stick to it. Otherwise, the system is quite archaic here. Why we don't have and people are not equal at all. For example, women, they are paid officially less than men for the same kind of job.
Yep, everywhere, not just France.
Really? You think so?
Yeah, in the States.
Everywhere. Yeah, I didn't.
Officially less? No, not officially, but practically yes.
But it's officially less.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, for example, so blow the whistle. By the way, sorry, quick. Rebecca is definitely tell the secrets. It's tell the secrets to an authority that can do something about them. So, Ali, what you're saying is, people are so scared to lose their jobs because the market is so bad that they wouldn't even consider blowing the whistle.
I think so. Yes. If they have a good job, they stick to it, even if it's a temporary contract.
Okay, very good. Well, not very good, but now I understand. It's not good at all.
The whole situation, it's not positive at all.
Let's see. And Albina from Kyrgyzstan.
For me, it smells bad anyway. When you reveal the secret of a company you are working for, it should be other mechanism or other method to control this. So it should be some government organization or something else, not.
There should be a mechanism to handle whistleblowing.
Because it can be just a revenge. In this case, it was different situation, but sometimes the person who was fired can just make a revenge against his previous organization, previous employee. So that is why it should be something else than just blow whistling.
Yeah, it's true. It could be for revenge, but it wouldn't take long. Do you agree with me? It wouldn't take long to find out that it wasn't true. I mean, you know, like you could try that and it could work in the short term, but could you get away with it in the long term?
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yes, I see.
I'm just saying. I agree with you, though. There should be some official mechanism. It shouldn't just be you going against you alone, going against a company. Forget it. How's it going to work, right? It's going to be very difficult. Okay, very good. Well, listen, let's do this, everyone. Let's stop here because we're at the end of the hour. You've actually read the article already. You might want to read it again because I have some vocabulary work for you to do. And in the next class, we're going to work on blowing the whistle. We're going to try to blow the whistle on a company, on our company, and we're going to talk about, we're going to use the kind of language you might use when you need to make your opinion heard. So not just offering your opinion, but offering it in a way that convinces other people. So we're going to work a bit on persuasion, and we'll be discussing other. When is the next lesson? The next lesson is Wednesday, because Business Basics is always Monday and Wednesday at 11 GMT. So that's probably 12 your time, because I think you're an hour earlier than me. I'm an hour later than you. I'm an hour earlier than you, something like that. Okay, so we're going to be discussing whistleblowing and maybe some other cases, but we're going to be working on the language of strong persuasion, the kind of persuasion you need to do if you're actually blowing the whistle, and we're going to give it a try. Okay, so read the article again, try the vocabulary exercises, and I'll see you on Wednesday where we'll blow the whistle together. Okay, bye for now, everyone.
Okay.
Bye bye. Thank you.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye.